That's a very good question. And to answer that, I'm hoping to be the pioneer of that change.
The idea is that you can tuck your fingers in and hold on to the handpiece.
It's absolutely incredible to see all the amazing innovations that are behind me. It's truly inspiring because a lot of the companies are people who I've mentored and coached throughout our entire residency program. So it's been fantastic to see them grow individually, but then also grow as a company.
This is a little bit about my startup venture. It's called HarmonEase Innovations. So the idea is, how can we lower the barriers for people with limited mobility to be able to access musical instruments? There are certain things that you can't put into words. Music allows you to do that. That's something that I discovered, and is something that I want everyone to tap into that. In our first year of iBioMed, we work with individuals who experience limited hand mobility. Being able to work one-on-one with such individuals and actually understand their challenges and their experiences, it really touches you. One day I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this woman who had clearly had limited mobility in her hands, and she was playing the hymn Via Dolorosa, which is one of my absolute favorites. To see somebody with limited mobility playing that, I thought, how is there no device out there that makes this just a little bit easier so that she doesn't have to experience any sort of pain? This is what I need to do. Going into the residency program, I definitely had an idea of a prototype in mind. One thing that Leanna told me to do, she said, create levels. Don't try to go into it all at once. Look at different aspects of the design that you have in mind and try to build those and then pull the pieces together. There's that aspect of the sliding rod system. So how are you going to get range of motion across or along the piano? How are you going to play the specific notes? How are you going to have control over the handpiece? These are different elements of the design. This is our first actual 3D printed prototype. Hopefully with more electrical software components, we can gain individual control over the different artificial things. Being able to use our hands is something that we really, really take for granted. For somebody else, being able to do those daily tasks that we can do is a whole dream. To be able to bring that to someone is extremely satisfying.
We're getting closer and closer to getting that first round of funding. I joined the Healthcare Innovation Bootcamp through the clinic at McMaster, and that was when I got introduced to what's it like to become an entrepreneur and basically learn the skills and the foundations to be an entrepreneur. And at that time, we had the idea of taking something that was out of my PhD project and trying to maybe see if we can become a therapeutic. So the cells are looking okay, but I wanted to get your input on it. Ryan Therapeutics, it's currently a preclinical stage company that is working on developing a therapeutic product that targets cardiovascular complications in severe illnesses.
As scientists, we are trained to do experiments, to identify trends in the literature and ask new and interesting questions, and are often left behind when it comes to thinking about the next steps in the commercialization of discoveries that we make. So having programs that are supported by McMaster University and the Faculty of Health Sciences really gives students and former students a sort of playground, so to speak, to learn about what it takes to build companies and to think in new ways about commercializing our discoveries in the lab.
To see that you can take what you've studied and what you've majored in throughout your whole life, and then seeing that you can turn that into an impact and apply it into the real world as a scientist in itself, I think it's an ecstatic moment.